I've been on sets for the last 12 years now as a stunt woman. I've always loved storytelling, and doing that through action and stunts has been really fulfilling. But I think as a person who just really is always kind of trying to challenge myself and see, what's next, being involved in creating the characters was something that was really important to me, especially giving women a little bit more voice and opportunity to fight back. A lot of the characters that I was playing as a stunt woman, didn't have as much of a voice or were more of a victim, and I wanted to change that a little. So a lot of these experiences are personal experiences that either I've had or other female friends have had in the entertainment industry. I think Los Angeles is, I mean, I love the city. It's a city that can make your dreams come true, but it can also crush your soul. And it just I wanted to show a story of a woman who was fighting for her dreams that came out the other end. And I mean, I'm gonna say she wins. She ends up back where she started, but she's learned a lot of lessons. She has a lot more of personal autonomy, and I think sometimes as artists we need to be realistic about where we want to land. We shoot for the stars, but sometimes we find places that are more comfortable for us as far as creating our art, and that's still a victory. That's still a win. You know, I wrote this film in 2019, and I think, that there was a lot going on personally in my career, and it was really kind of I wrote it as a kind of a cathartic exercise just to get some things out. Um, and then once I had it on paper, I put it on the blacklist and I got some really good responses, and I just decided that I wanted to move forward with it. It felt right. They say to tell the stories and I think a lot of people would expect a stunt person to come in with an action film, but coming from such a male-dominated industry, this was a story that I really wanted to share. So we really could not have found a better Aster. Rainey came into the role with a really good understanding of who Aster was. And also she had a lot of original songs that she brought. And so, right from the start, we were sending songs back and forth and having lunches and having, sharing ideas, and, her enthusiasm and her excitement, it made the process so much easier. There was really rarely times that I had to like give her notes about like, oh, well, I don't, this doesn't feel like something Aster would do or say. And there were times where she would come up with something that felt actually more natural than what we had on the page. So yeah, she just had a great understanding of Aster, and it was a really I think it was kind of a parallel experience for her. She's got an album coming out right now, and a lot of the clubs that we filmed at, she's already performed at. And so it was, yeah, it was a kind of a interesting experience, I'm sure, for her. So we were really, really lucky that we had a music supervisor named George Draculius. I mean, he had literally just come off of doing Barbie and Joker too. So it was kind of surreal that we had him, but he's got really great, like fun ideas. And he also brought in Lyle Workman, who was our composer. And, that between the two of them, and then, Rainey also kind of, we just created this, musical world. I mean, George even brought in Kyle Gass. He wrote Stupid Guy. He's a Tenacious D. So yeah, it's just kind of some unexpected choices that I think really work well. Um, and yeah, I mean, again, a lot of it is Rainy. A lot of the songs were Rainy songs, but yeah, George was amazing. I think ultimately I would say this is a story about a woman who has a voice. And in the beginning, she's not really sure how to use that voice. And when someone tries to take that voice away from her or control her, it really makes her realize that the strength and the power that she has in her own and owning her voice and the ownership of her voice and her autonomy. And so my hope is that women, young women, older women, all women, uh, we remember that we have voices, and that when people tell us not to use those voices, that we should question that. And a lot of the times when people tell us to be quiet, it's the right time to be loud. So yeah, that's my hope, is that, chase your dreams and don't let people get in the way and tell you not to. I mean, I certainly had a lot of people that tried to dissuade me from mine, and I ignored them. So I encourage women to do the same.